Son Jarocho, said it right, is a regional folk musical style of Mexican son from Veracruz, a Mexican state along the Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk about a collective of intergenerational students in the Valley learning the tradition of Son Jarocho music in a moment, but first, here's the collective performing at a recent event here in Phoenix. Joining me to talk about the Son Jarocho collective here in the Valley is Dr. Michell Tellez. Also here is Quetzalli, Enrique. Both are members of the Son Jarocho collective here in Phoenix. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Well, let's start with how this begins in Phoenix.
That's great. So actually, here in the studio about 2 years ago, as a member of Entre Nosotras collective, we were talking about an event that we organized, and we brought out Entre Mujeres, which is an intergenerational Chicana Mexicana group of women who are playing this music.
Intergenerational is a nice way of saying young and old. Right.
And they're translocal, so they use Son Jarocho as a way to build bridges, build community across borders. And so we had the pleasure of having Entre Mujeres perform here in downtown Phoenix. And then the day after, we invited them to do a workshop at Tonatierra, which is a cultural embassy of indigenous peoples, a place where we're trying to revitalize our culture. And so from that initial workshop, we had maybe 20 to 25 participants, and it was a free workshop. From that day, one of the members of Entre Mujeres, Angela Flores, who is actually from the Eastside Cafe in Los Angeles, said, you know, you all are wanting to learn, I'm gonna make the commitment to come and help you all learn. And so she started coming, and I don't know if Quetzalli wants to add anything.
Yeah, how did you get involved?
One day I'm a frequent visitor of Tonatierra. My family always goes, and I just walked in the building and people were playing these little big and small instruments.
And was this something you were given by the
I
collective?
ordered this one. This is mine. I ordered it after I discovered that I had a passion for playing. So I walked in and they were all playing, and I decided.
Yeah, maybe show it for the camera so we can.
Of course.
Oh yeah, in front of you. You can tell us what it is and what it looks like.
It's a jarana, similar to a ukulele, but it's from Veracruz, Mexico, and we play different sones. That's what the songs are called. They're called sones, and they talk about. Each son talks about resistance or the land, the people, what they're going through.
Well, and it's music that I guess sounds familiar if you grew up in a Hispanic community, if you grew up in a place of where there's Mexican culture around. This isn't that far off of what we have heard sort of growing up, kind of folklorical music, some of that?
Sure.
What's the main regional difference?
Well, the thing is that in Veracruz, this music has been around for 400 years. This is what we're learning. We're students, you know, we're like in preschool maybe. And what we've learned that this music is the music of resistance. It's been around, that it's a miscegnation of Spanish, African, and indigenous. And in the 1970s, we found that the music was dying out. So the communities that held on to this tradition, like in the little pueblos, the elders, were the only ones that knew the music. The new generation was no longer using it. And so in this
It's dying out because there's something going on in Mexico, sort of a nationalization movement?
Exactly, yeah. So some of the more regional cultural specificities were sort of losing its popularity. People wanted to do like the pop music or like the You know what I mean?
So it'd be like if Cajun music suddenly kind of fell out of favor, or Tejano music or something. Yeah.
Absolutely, right. And so there were some people who wanted to hold on to the tradition in Mexico and started going out into these communities and learning from these elders, from these people who had held on to it after all these years, and were bringing it back to their own communities. And from there, it's crossed over into on this side of the border, I guess. Yeah.
What resonates with you? Is your family from the region? Is there something? What about this music resonates with you?
My family's not from the region, but part of my family is from Mexico. But what resonates with me is that it's a community thing. It's not just one person, a solo act. It's something where the community can come, you can go up and sing, and you can go up and dance if you feel like it. The fandango, the wapango, it's a participatory type of music. Anyone can go up, anyone can come. It's just a really good energy when you can do something that's positive with your community.
Yeah, is that the most important part of it? Is that collective?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, what we're learning is that, really the technique is important. You want to learn the technique, and there's a lot to learn. But the most important part is building that community with one another, sharing our stories. Eventually, we'll want to tell the stories because there's lots of stories to tell here in Phoenix and in Arizona in general that affect our communities, right? And so eventually we will get to that. We're already starting to do that. But when you come together and and we're not, Quetzalli is a great musician. I'm not a musician, but I'm learning, and I feel like I'm able to express myself in a way that I'm not able to otherwise, right? So through singing or dancing or playing.
So what have you played besides this? How did you get into it?
Well, I play music. I went to a music school, so when I picked it up, it kind of came naturally. Some of playing simple songs, but there's something about it. It just kind of fits, the size. It fits me, the sound.
Because there's a percussive nature, and I guess for most people, they may have heard some songs like Colas or La Bamba is probably the most popular.
Yeah, right.
So it's a familiar music. It's very percussive. Yeah. How would you describe it to someone who hasn't heard it?
I would say it's kind of upbeat. There's some, like Colas is very fast, La Bamba is very fast. It's an upbeat type of music. Rhythm, it's not just about rhythm, it's about rhythmic phrases. So it's not like super strict, but you have to know each song each son is different. And you have to know the difference, because one simple stroke can change the whole song, So you just kind of have to know each rhythm.
And I guess people associate Tonatierra, it's in the news a lot for political reasons. There is the cultural side. Some of the music is culturally supposed to be whimsical. Are the songs that are being written out of this group whimsy?
Whimsy, I don't know. So definitely we want to tell the stories of resistance of our people and our everyday life, right? So we want to live without fear, we want to live in harmony, we want to live in beauty, right? And we're also having an Indiegogo campaign. We're trying to fundraise for this collective to bring in more maestros.
Oh yeah, so the website is?
For the Indiegogo campaign, you just look up the Jarocho Collective and you'll find it on the Indiegogo site. 11:59, July 2nd is the last time you can donate.
And that is our show for tonight. Good luck with the campaign, and thanks for us all here at Horizonte at 8. Thanks for watching. I'm Richard Ellis. Have a great evening.
That's pretty good. You can see it.